Welcome to a gentle yoga flow for beginners. To start off this class, sit in the end of your mat. We're gonna use a cross-legged seated position, or you can go into a lotus seat. So bring the hands on top of your knees, palms facing up, and keep your spine upright. Breathe in through the nose and exhale through the nose. Find a nice, steady breathing rhythm. From here, we want to turn our palms onto our knees, and then we start circling from our spine. So reach your chest forward and back, really straighten and round the spine, and make the movement as big as it feels good. Go slow or go as fast as you feel comfortable with. Just move, and when you round the spine, bring your chin to the chest and then switch directions. You can stay in one spot, stretch out one spot, just feel into your spine and into your body. Keep breathing throughout the entire practice. Go for one more round and then come back to the middle, back to center, and then we roll our shoulders back. So inhale, lift up the shoulders, exhale, roll the shoulders behind and down. Keep going in your own pace, bring awareness to the movement and stay in the present moment. And now we switch directions, so go back, up, and then forward and down with your shoulders. Let the breath guide you. Now bring your hands to the front of your shoulders and do big circles with your elbows. So lift up your elbows to the front, bring them out to the side, open up your chest and exhale, go down. Bring the elbows together, inhale, roll up, open the chest, exhale, close again. And again, go in your own pace. So your breathing pace may be a whole lot different than mine, so don't get distracted by that. And then also here, switch directions. Go for one more round and then come back to center, shake out your shoulders, your spine, and then roll over into a tabletop position. So bring your knees underneath your hips, your hands underneath your shoulders. And from here we're gonna start with a round of cat-cow. So with your inhale, arch your back, look forward, and exhale, round your spine, bring the chin to the chest, and again follow your breath. Inhale, broaden the collarbones, exhale, round your spine. And don't just focus on the end position, bring more focus into the transitions in between those poses. If you want to do some extra movements, you are welcome to do these. So maybe look to the side or do some circles in your spine, whatever your body needs. Just follow your intuition. Now come back to neutral, walk your hands forward a little bit, tuck your toes, and then send the hips up and back for downward facing dog. So really reach those hips high. Try to bring your heels down towards the floor, but they don't have to touch the ground. Send your chest towards your thighs and really push away from the ground. And if you want to make this a little bit more dynamic, walk your dog, so bring one heel towards the ground at a time and bend the other knee. Just move, do whatever feels good, but whatever you do, stay with the focus on your breath. Slow down the movement. Come back to center of your downward facing dog. Breathe here and breathe out. And with your next inhale, step your left foot forward outside of your left hand for lizard lunge. Really push away your right heel from you. Keep the chest up high and reach the hips forward and down. And also make sure your left knee is on top of your left ankle. And again, if you want to make this a little bit more dynamic, pump your hips up and down or stay still in this position. You can always grab some blocks if you can't reach the floor or come onto the fingertips like I do. And then set your right knee down to the floor. Bring your left foot inside of your left hand and then rise up for a low lunge. Bring both hands to the left knee. And again, send the hips forward and down while keeping the spine upright. Engage your core and pull the left heel and the right knee towards each other. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, turn to the left side, reach your left hand back, reach your right hand forward. Open twist. Pull the belly button in. Either you stay here or with your next inhale, reach your right hand up and reach your left hand towards your right thigh. Exhale, release and bring both hands outside of your left foot and then shift back into a half split. So maybe walk your left toes forward and straighten your left knee. Keep your back straight and lean over the left leg while pulling the left hip back a little bit more. And again, use blocks if you need blocks or stay on your fingertips, or maybe you can set your palms onto the floor. And from here we turn to the right side of our mat, so we pivot onto our right knee. Left knee stays extended and we come into a tabletop variation with our left leg extended towards the side. Look forward, arch your back and exhale, round your back for another round of cat and cow. Again, go in your own pace. Follow the breath. Now slowly come back to center. So first come into a half split and then come back into a low lunge again. So bend your left knee. Extend your right leg, runner's lunge. And from runner's lunge, step back into a downward facing dog. Reach your hips high. Feel the difference between the left side of the body and the right side of the body. And from here we want to turn the heels towards the sides. We stay in downward facing dog, but we shift our weight on our feet. So we get a little bit of movement in the spine and the hips. If you don't like this, you can always stay centered and do the movements you like. And with the next exhale, step your right foot outside of your right hand for lizard lunge on this side. So push the left heel away from you and either you stay still or you start bouncing your hips again in this position. So stay on your palms, on your fingertips, or the blocks, and start bouncing your hips. And again, make sure your toes are pointing in the same direction as your knee. So speaking of the right knee right now. Lower down the left knee, walk your right foot inside to the middle, and come into a low lunge variation. So bring both hands on top of your right knee, lift up, and keep the core engaged, keep the legs engaged. And this low lunge is a very active pose, so you should feel your legs working right now. Pull the belly button in And with the next inhale, reach both arms up. And with the exhale, turn your chest to the right side, reach your left hand forward, your right hand back. Keep breathing through the nose. And either you stay here, or with the next inhale, reach your left arm up, your right hand towards the back side of your left leg. No matter where you are, keep breathing. And with the next exhale, bring both palms to the floor and come into a half split on this side. So heel toe your right foot forward, straighten your right leg, and lean forward and down. From this half split, we're gonna pivot to the left side of our mat and come into the tabletop position with our right leg extended to the side. And we go for another round of cat and cow. So inhale, arch your back. Exhale, round your back. Keep going in your own pace. Now come back to center and then pivot back into a half split. And from the half split, we come into a runner's lunge. So bend your right knee, tuck your left toes, come into a runner's lunge. And from runner's lunge, step back into a downward facing dog. So our last downward facing dog of this practice. So bring more attention towards it, clean it up. And from here, lower down the knees, shift forward onto your stomach, and we come down into a Sphinx pose. So bring the elbows underneath your shoulders, untuck your toes, bring the forearms parallel to each other, and lift up from your chest. Engage the glutes, and really shift your hips into the floor. Keep breathing. Open up the front side of your body, open up your heart space, and if you want to go deeper, you can come into seal pose by extending both elbows. But you can, of course, stay in Sphinx pose, the more gentle version. And exhale, release down, shake out your hips from left to right to neutralize the feeling in your spine. And from here, sit back onto your heels and then come into a cross-legged seated position again. Open your palms, let them face towards the sky, and close your eyes for a couple more moments. Breathe here. Thank yourself for joining the practice. And I encourage you to stay seated, meditate for a while. And I hope to see you soon. Namaste.